So, good morning, dear children, once again to the online session of our study of Unit 1 Information Technology of Class 12 Standard. Now, in this session, we will discuss the various types of commands that we are going to perform using a MySQL command line interface, using a MySQL command line client which is installed in our device, and after that we will discuss how to install that particular MySQL command line or MySQL server into our device, into our computer, in order to perform all the queries that are different types of queries that are being considered in this unit, in this discussion. Okay, so let us come to the point. Now, today's topic of our discussion is SQL command. Actually, the client or the server or the application that we are going to use is MySQL, but in general, the commands we apply for each and every type of SQL servers. Okay, so in general only we are discussing those commands, but the syntax and all will be learned in the context of MySQL. So, it is a language. SQL, as I said earlier, as we have discussed earlier, it is a language for storing and managing data. Which is stored in our relational database management system. Fine. Now, in order to store and manage data, create table, in order to make relation, in order to establish connectivity between two relations, we will require certain types of SQL commands which are very essential. Okay, we will require certain type of SQL commands which are needed to be executed in order to perform those types of operations. So, let us come to the point directly. What are the different types of SQL commands which are available inside the MySQL application, and the commands which we are going to learn in our next series of discussions. Okay, so what is actually the meaning of an SQL command? What is actually an SQL command means? SQL command or instruction means, as I said earlier, whenever we write, whenever we set anything in the computer, that means we are instructing the computer to do a particular task. Correct? So SQL commands are also a set of instructions which are being given to the computer to in order to perform certain set of tasks. It is also used to communicate with the database. Now, apart from performing a series of tasks, these commands, this set of commands are also used in order to communicate with the database. Whenever we would like to interact, whenever we would like to change, whenever we would like to alter, whenever we would like to insert new tuples, in such situation, this is known as communication. So, such kind of communication can also be done by means of a database. Okay. Then, apart from this, they can be used to perform various tasks such as creating a table. Apart from these 2 points, SQL is also used for creating a table, adding data to tables, drop the table, modify the table, set permission for users, and so on. So these are the certain set of tasks that is generally being performed by an SQL server. Okay. For example, creating a table in a database, suppose there are say 5 to 6 tables, then we need to insert those tables, create those tables first, insert values onto those tables, then modifying any tuple in a relation, modifying, making changes, deleting the table, all those tasks are generally being handled by a set of commands which is also known as SQL command. Now, there are a total of 5 types of SQL commands. Okay, there are a total of 5 types of SQL commands, out of which the first 2 category we are going to learn in the first category of commands, that is DDL and DML, we are going to learn in our next series of discussions. So, in general, there are 5 sets of commands which is available inside any SQL structured query language. Structured query language application. Okay, SQL stands for structured query language. So there are 5 set of commands. First one is DDL, second one is DML, third one is DCL, fourth one is TCL, and fifth one is DQL. Now what are the different categories, what are the different set of commands which are available under DDL? These are create, alter, drop and truncate. Here 4 operations has been mentioned. Apart from this also few more are there. So we will discuss one by one each and every one along with the execution of those commands in the MySQL command line. Okay, so the first set of commands include DDL. DDL stands for data definition language. Data definition language. Whenever there is a need to define the data that has to be inserted into our database, whenever there is a need or a demand for defining the data before inserting them into the database, then those sets of commands comes under the category of DDL, data definition language. So it includes create, drop, alter and truncate. These are the 4 set of commands which can be performed. Apart from this, the second category is data manipulation language, DML. It is also known by another name, that is data manipulation language. Means if we have got certain new specifications, if we have certain new data that has to be inserted, that has to be changed, that has to be modified according to our need in our database, then we should go ahead with the data manipulation language. Means data changing of the data in due course of time. Okay, changing or updation of the data in due course of time can be handled by the data manipulation language. First one is insert, second one is update, third one is delete in here. Okay, then the third category of SQL command is DCL. DCL stands for data control language. Okay, the DCL stands for data control language. So what is actually a data control language? Whenever we need to apply certain restrictions on the data, amount of data that has been stored into our device, into our database application, then we go ahead with data control language. Now here also we will study 2 commands, grant and revoke. Actually these 3 are not part of our syllabus. Instead I am just giving a brief overview of these 3. Our part of syllabus is DDL and DML, which we are going to discuss in detail, and based on this we have exercises which we need to solve. Okay, so this is DCL, grant and revoke. Means if we would like to apply certain restrictions onto our relations in a database, that comes under the then we will use certain set of command that is called DCL. Then the 4th category is TCL. TCL stands for transaction control language. Okay, so transaction control language is generally used by the banking management system. For example, the software that are generally being used in banks, they will use this transaction control language. Now in this category there are 3 sets of commands which we will study, but this is also a part of out of our syllabus, so we will not concentrate much in detail. Okay, instead we will simply discuss what are these 3: commit, rollback and step on. These are the 3 sets of commands that will be handled by TCL, transaction control language. Okay, the first one is commit. Suppose I inserted an ATM card into an ATM machine, and once I have given the command of withdrawing the money, say a sum of 2000 rupees, then at that particular point the system has to be committed or the system has to be saved. That is known as commit. Means if our transaction is success in that situation, we need to store the value in our database in that particular point. That will be handled by commit. The second one is rollback. In case of system failure, what happens? Suppose I have inserted our ATM in our ATM card. I have inserted our ATM card in ATM machine. Now what happened? Due to some system network error, network problem, what happened? it got struck. Instead we got a receipt. That your transaction cancelled, but the amount has not been received by me. That is, the amount. So today we are going to learn the first category. We are going to learn the first category of languages, or the first category of command that we are going to use in our SQL, MySQL client. The first category of command that we are going to use in our SQL client, MySQL client, is also called by another name, that is the data definition language. Now, what is actually a data definition language? We will discuss along with all the operations or all the set of commands which we are going to learn in the category. In the case of data definition language, will be discussed one by one. So the first thing is DDL changes the structure of a table, like creating a table, deleting a table, altering a table. The main purpose of data definition languages is defining the data. Means it can change whenever we have created a database inside our SQL server, MySQL server. Then in order to change the structure of our table, in order to insert new table, in order to delete a particular table, in order to alter the table, then we go ahead with this particular set of command which are considered as DDL. All the command of DDL are auto-committed. That means it permanently saves all the changes in the database. That means what? Whenever we are inserting, whenever we are using any of the DDL command, then they will automatically get committed. They will automatically, permanently get saved in our database. The changes that has been done by means of the DDL command are auto-committed, and they will be automatically saved permanently into our database. Fine. First thing is, whenever we need to change the structure of table, like creating a table, deleting a table, altering a table, then we go ahead with this kind of queries. Then whenever there is a need to save, make permanent changes, permanently save all the command in our database, that is auto-commit option we have to enable. In such situation also we go ahead with DDL, data definition language. Now the various sets of DDL commands include create, alter, drop and truncate. Create. So let us come to the create table command. First one is create table command. See, whenever we would like to create a new table or a relation in our database, then we need to go ahead with this command. Whenever there is a need to create a new table, or relation in our database, then we need to go ahead with this create table command. The syntax for the same is create table name. Means create a table will be in uppercase, followed by the name of the table which we are inserting, which we are creating inside the database. Then column 1 is the name of attribute, then followed by data type. Okay, attribute, column 1 is attribute 1, then its data type, and followed by constant if any, say primary key, null constant, entity, integrity constant, all those constants if we would like to insert, then under this column constant will be inserted. Again column 2 here also, that is attribute 2, then followed by its data type and then constant. Finally column 3 data type constant, attribute 3 data type and constant if any. So this is a general description of the syntax which we are going to use whenever we are going ahead with the creation of a table inside our database. So let us see an example how we can create a table. Okay, example we will discuss in our practical sessions. Now let us come to the second point, that is drop. Now whenever we would like to delete both the structure and record inside the table. If we have stored something inside the table and we would like to delete both the structure and record, in such situation we may go ahead with the drop table command. The syntax of this particular command is drop table name. See, both these will be in uppercase followed by the name of table. Then semicolon should be inserted. See here, semicolon should be inserted, or else it will show error. Okay. See, for example, if we have created the relation which we have discussed earlier, that is employee relation containing 5 attributes, and we have already inserted the data inside that particular table, then in order to delete everything from that particular table, delete the complete table itself, then we will simply write the command drop table employee. Okay. Then the third category is alter.